Dr. Zaxara pulled her sixth tentacle away from the observation screen and let out what could only be described as an exasperated sigh. After 3 years of studying humans aboard the research vessel Cosmic Understanding, she was beginning to question her career choices in xenobiology. Log entry 847. She spoke into her recording device. The human subjects continue to display behaviors that defy all logical explanation, yet they seem completely unaware of their own abnormalities. Through the reinforced viewing port, she watched the human section of the ship. 3 humans, Jake, Maria, and David, were going about their daily routines with the casual indifference that had been driving the research team to distraction. Jake was currently doing what humans called working out. This involved deliberately placing his body under extreme physical stress for no apparent survival benefit. He lifted metal bars weighted with mass that would crush most species, then set them down only to lift them again. His muscles strained, his cardiovascular system redlined, and his body released what humans cheerfully called endorphins, chemicals that other species only produce during life-threatening emergencies. Subject displays clear signs of physiological distress, yet reports feeling great and pumped up, Dr. Zoexeron noted. When asked why he deliberately induces this state, subject responded, "It's fun." Definition of fun remains incomprehensible. Nearby, Maria was preparing something she called lunch. The xenobiology team had long since given up trying to classify human dietary habits as anything approaching normal. Maria was combining plants that would be toxic to most species, she called them peppers, with the muscle tissue of various creatures, then applying heat until the proteins began to denature. The mixture should have been inedible, even dangerous. She took a bite and smiled. "Oh, this is mild," she commented to David, who immediately requested a sample. Dr. Zextera's assistant, a crystalline being named Keltar, flickered in confusion. The thermal imaging shows temperatures that would damage our sensory apparatus. Yet they describe it as mild and appear to be enjoying it. "That's not even the disturbing part," Dr. Zwaxtera replied. "Watch this." She activated the intercom. "Maria, could you describe the sensation you're experiencing?" "Sure. It's got a nice burn to it. Makes my mouth tingle, gets the sinuses flowing, really wakes you up." Maria responded cheerfully. Keltar's crystalline form dimmed. She just described multiple symptoms of poisoning and tissue damage as desirable experiences. The third human, David, was perhaps the most unsettling of all. He sat quietly reading something he called a horror novel, entertainment specifically designed to simulate fear, terror, and psychological distress. His heart rate was elevated, his stress hormones were active, and by all biological indicators, he should be fleeing from an immediate threat. Instead, he was relaxed in his chair, occasionally making sounds that indicated amusement. "I don't understand," Keltar whispered. "Why would any species evolve to seek out fear as entertainment?" Dr. Zwaxtera had been asking herself the same question. The humans' entertainment choices were a catalog of activities that should trigger every survival instinct. Stories about death and monsters, games that simulated warfare and violence, sports that involved deliberate physical contact and potential injury. "The most disturbing aspect," she continued her log, "is their complete lack of awareness regarding their own abnormality. When questioned about these behaviors, they invariably respond with confusion, as if the questioner is the one displaying strange behavior." She recalled yesterday's interview session, when she'd expressed amazement at Jake's ability to function normally despite consuming enough caffeine to potentially stop 3 Veltari hearts. He'd simply shrugged and said, "I'm not even fully awake yet. Haven't had my second cup." When she'd shown concern about Maria's casual consumption of what amounted to chemical irritants, Maria had offered to make her some extra spicy food, apparently as a gesture of friendship. And when she'd inquired about David's choice to experience fear for pleasure, he'd enthusiastically recommended several movies that he promised would really mess with your head. Dr. Vectora tentacled through her notes one final time before submitting her report to the Galactic Science Council. Conclusion: Humans appear to be a species so thoroughly adapted to their death world that they have fundamentally redefined the concepts of pleasure, safety, and normal behavior. Most concerning of all, they seem genuinely confused when other species find their lifestyle alarming. Recommend immediate reclassification from unusual to incomprehensible. She paused the recording and watched Jake attempt something called a personal record. And may the void help us all, she whispered.